Hello.
Hi, Harold. You're cold?
Yeah.
I'm cold at home also, even though I have the heating on.
Yeah, every room we have two thermostats. So the living room is warm, the bedroom is cold. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever
I,
Magda wants, that's what she gets.
I have two systems. The one in the back is a heat pump,
Yeah.
electric, and that one has a life of its own.
Oh, why is
Uh,
that?
I think I must have joined the savings, whatever.
Oh.
So every time I go and look at it, there's a little yellow leaf or a green leaf.
Oh, right. Yeah. I have the same thing on my. I have a Nest
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Rancho
yeah.
Mirage. Yeah. So I can't because I'm
You,
away. I set it, but then it decides to change it because there's no movement in the house.
okay, you can go to the app
Yeah.
and eliminate all the things and have it fresh again.
Uh-huh. Instead of being a smart house, I want a stupid house.
Yeah. But the one in the front, I have another Nest, and they told me it won't work with this AC. So I put it myself, it didn't. I put it
Oh.
in I put it in heat and it worked.
Oh,
I,
good. Okay.
I put it in cold and it was giving me heat.
Oh, God. You can't
So,
win. Ugh. There was some airplane crash in Washington just now.
oh boy,
Yeah, a private plane crashed with a helicopter.
was it carrying Trump?
No, there wasn't Air Force One.
Hmm.
Here it is. Oh, it said a small airplane. No more details.
Oh. Where did you see it?
I was watching the news. They just had it.
Uh, oh,
Who's there?
yes. Oh, you went to a party, honey,
I slept all afternoon. I'm not feeling well.
Oh, there we are.
in a suit.
So Baruch Hashem, but it's well, you got to daven that we have more consistency. My fault.
Cushion.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. You went to a wedding, honey?
What's that?
Went to a wedding
What do you mean?
with
You dressed up.
a dark suit.
No, I'm just wearing a corduroy jacket.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, all my shirts are at the cleaners
They're all back.
or the laundry, whatever Susie does with them. And when I don't have my regular shirts, I wear whatever white shirts. I have tons of white shirts. So whenever you see me wearing a white shirt, it's because my shirts aren't back.
now we know.
Oh, they're back? Okay. Okay. So that's. Okay. We're on Mem Gimel, 43. Uvnei Yisrael asu kasher tzivah Hashem es Moshe. It says that the pasuk there was the guy who cursed Hashem, and Moshe, and was told to Moshe, take him out of the machane, hotzeta makala mechutz machane, and then vayotzisa makala mechutz machane. They took him out. So each time they were taken out of a different machane. That's how we learned that when the Beis Haskila was out of the three machanot of Yisrael. So, Elamayata vayirgamo so oven my avdele. If Klal Yisrael did whatever they were told to do, why did it have to say? And they stoned him. So Ahuma Boile Tanya, Varigamo so oven. Also, velo biksuso. That means when you stoned somebody, you took his clothes off. He was stoned naked. The reason for that is, we'll learn later, is you have Rachmanis on him, because if he has clothes, he's going to die more slowly, because his clothing is going to shelter him from the stones. So we do it in a way that he's going to die quicker, because we want to have Rachmanis on him. Evan, that if he died, that when you throw one stone at him, that's you were Yotze. By the Makoshesh, the guy who gathered wood on Shabbos, it says Ragomo so ba'avanim kol ha'eda. So why there did it say plural stones? Because maybe there would have been a rule that if you threw one stone at him and he didn't die, he gets off. Because no, you have to kill him with multiple stones. Because maybe you throw two stones at him at the start. No, because oven. The ha namar ka'amar. This Tana says Nemar was relying on Gzeira Shava. So Ilolo Nemar Kamar. So it's as if he didn't say that. V'hochi Kamar Ilolo Nemar Kra. There was no pasuk. I used to remember Gzeira Shava. But Achshav Shamar Kra Gzeira Shava. I don't need the Gzeira Shava because I learned it directly from the pasuk. Ravashi Amar Moshe Hechav Yosef v'Machna Levi. Where did Moshe live? In the Levi camp, not in Machna Shechina, which is the base of Mikdash. And the Torah told Moshe, take him out, Chutz Machna Levi, which is means to put him into Machna Yisrael. Then it says Chutz Machna Yisrael. That's the pasuk that says you have to throw him out of all the Machnos. And then when it says Vayotzius Mekalel, that's Lasiya. This is what they have to do. Freik the Gemara, Asiya Badek Sifu, it already says Uvnei Yisrael Asu Kasher Tzivas Moshe. So you don't need Vayotzius Mekalel. So Alumaboile Chad L'Smicha, that the people are going to stone him, have to lay their hands on his head and lean on him. Just like you lean on a korban before you offer it. The Eidim have to do that. And the Eidim have to kill him. How do they kill him? They push him off a cliff before you throw a stone. So by the Pariman Israfim, that the cows that you burn for kapara, like the Paralam Davar Shel Tzibor, what drushes do you have there? Kasha. We don't have any drushes, and therefore it blipes with a kasha. Echad even sheniskal ba, ve'echad eitz shenitla ba. The stone that you throw at the person, or the wood, after he's dead, you have to hang him on a piece of wood. Or the sword that cuts his head off, or the handkerchief, the scarf that you wrap around his neck that you choke him with. Kulan mishel tzibu. You have the Beis Din, the public has to provide those implements. The guy who's being killed doesn't have to provide it. My time, huh? We don't tell him, go bring these things from your home and to kill yourself. Boy, Ravuna, Sudur Shemanifimbo. What about the handkerchief that we wave if Beis Din determines that he's innocent? or sus sherotz umamidav mishalmiu, and the horse that we said runs after the people that are on their way to the Beis Haskila to tell them that he's free. Who pays for that? Kivan dat solidide. Maybe since he's the one who's being rescued, midideu, maybe it comes out of his pocket. Odilma, kivan to beidina mechayvin lemevid ba'atzola. It's Bezdin responsibility to try to make him innocent. Maybe me to do it's from them. Vesu. And another issue. Adam Rav Chia bar Rav Asher Rav Chizda Yotze le hare. When they took people out to kill them, Mashkin also court shalavona. They gave them like a sedative. They gave them a piece of spice. B'chol shel yain, in wine, kadesha detarv daiter, so he would be sedated. So he wouldn't be so nervous. Shenemar tnu shecha la'oived v'yain l'moy nofesh. V'tanya nashim yakar sheb'shlamah misnadvos mavius osam. The special women in Yerushalayim would donate this. But what if they didn't donate? Lo isnadvu noshim yakar mishalmi. Havadim istaver mishal tzibur. Must be the tzibur favors it. Kevan dechsiv tnu mididu. Born Rav Acha bar Huna Rav Sheshes. Omer Echa ben Talmidim yesh li lamed alav zchus. Somebody got up of the Talmidim and says, I know a reason why you should be innocent. V'nishtatek. But then he got dumb. Deaf, dumb, and blind, meaning he couldn't speak anymore. Mouth. Do we still count him? We didn't hear all of his arguments, but do we count him in the innocent vote? So minapech Rav Sheshes b'yadei. So Rav Sheshes sort of blew it off with his hand. Nishtatek? Afilu echad b'sof olam nami, where we have to worry that there's somebody in the rest of the world, that we have to worry that maybe he has something to say. This guy didn't say anything. We shouldn't count him. So the Gemara hostile. Somebody else in China, we didn't hear him say anything. Here, he started off by saying, I know something that makes the guy innocent. So what's the din mai? Toshma. One of the Talmidim who gave arguments that he should be innocent, then he died. So we count him as if he's alive. But that's not a proof. Zika in, lo zika lo. Means if he didn't give forth the argument, we can't count him. So zika pshitale. We know if he made all the arguments, of course. We don't know if he just said, I have something to say for innocence. He didn't get to say his remarks. That's the question. Then the Mishnah said, even if he, the accused, has something to say, we listen to him. Afilu pan rishon u'shniya, we bring him back to the bezdin. V'hatanya pan rishon u'shniya ben sheyesh mamish b'dvar ben she'ein mamish b'dvar machzir noseh. Whether what he says makes sense, whether he doesn't make sense, we still bring him back. But after the second time, mikan ve'elech, im yesh mamish midvarav, if what he has to say makes sense, machzir noso, ein mamish midvarav ein machzir noso. So Amar of Papa tirgma mipam shniya ve'elech means that what was just stated in the Baraisa is after the second time, it's only when he has reasonable arguments that we bring him back, otherwise not. Now, Mino Yodi, who's going to know whether he has reasonable arguments? Amar Abaya, Masrin le Zugad Rabbanan. We send two Talmidei Chachamim with the accused, that if he says something that makes sense to them, they'll know whether it's mamish. Mamish b'dvarav in ilolo. So why didn't we send them out right away with the first and second time? Maybe he's so afraid that he won't say what he needs to say. Mishnah. Patru. If they voted innocent, he goes free. V'im lav, if he's now declared guilty, we take him out to be stoned. Ukruz yotze lefana. There is an announcer that walks in front of him making an announcement. Each Ploni ben Ploni, this guy, Yotze Lisoke, is being taken out for being killed. Al Sha'avar Avera Plonis, on this and this Avera. Uploini Edom, and these are his Edim. Kol mish yodea lo schus, whoever knows something to get him off, yavo v'lamed alav. And Amr Abai v'tzarch l'meimer b'yoyim ploini u'v'shah ploinis. The announcer, of course, has to say it's Monday, January 2nd at 2 o'clock. Uv'makom ploini at La Brea and 3rd Street. Why? Because Dilma the Ikadi Yadiv also amazing, because maybe there are witnesses who at Monday 1 o'clock saw these two people in Disneyland, and they can be Adam Zomimim. So all the way to the place of execution, these announcements would be made, so the public would come in here, and maybe some other Adam would come to save the guy. What's your telephone of in me korelo? That means the announcement is only made when he's taken out to be executed. Prior to Gemar Din, prior to the Beis Din voting, we didn't make such announcement. Va'atanya. Now, I don't know whether you have the following Gemara, because I'm learning it from the Steinsaltz, who did not censor this Gemara. If you guys have Art Scroll, they may have censored it.
Yeah, it's not there.
Well, let me read it to you.
Okay.
It says like this, listen carefully, Vatanya. Be'erev Pesach talu Yeshu HaNotzri. On Erev Pesach, they crucified Yeshu HaNotzri. Tla'u means they hung him up on a cross. Va'akruz yotze lefon of Arboim Yom. Here, they announced it for 40 days. Yeshu HaNotzri yotze lisokel, that Yeshu HaNotzri is going to be killed through skila, and then they're going to hang him up. Al shakishne fihisis videchas Yisrael, because he practiced witchcraft, and he tried to get Klal Yisrael to worship Avodah Zarah. Whoever knows the reason why he should be innocent, come in here. Nobody came forward. And they hung him up Erev Pesach. But mashma that they did skila first. And then they hung him.
So was Erev Pesach then he could not have had the Last Supper, or was it after the Seder?
Well, Leonardo da Vinci, you're asking a kasha from Leonardo da Vinci?
Yeah.
No. I think the Gospels say that there was a Seder. The Last Supper was a Seder.
Right.
Okay. Well, we know Easter occurs around Pesach. So,
correct.
So already, at least Erev Pesach, we're about the right time. But the Gemara clearly says he was killed before the night of the Seder.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious how, if it was taken out of the Gemara, out of the Vilna, where was it kept? How did people know what it was?
So, because there are other manuscripts of Shas here. The Vilna Shas was printed 1750. It was printed from a certain manuscript. But you know that in the 20th century, many in the Geniza and Cairo,
I see.
Privately, people had manuscripts, the Gemara written by hand. Remember, until Sonsino, I don't know who, Bomberg in 1480. I think Bomberg printed I think it might have been printed as early as 1680, or maybe in the 1500s. It means somebody had a manuscript, which they then printed. I think Bomberg was also a Christian printer. He was a Christian printer, Bomberg. Sonsino was later. That was an Italian family. They were Jewish, I think.
Right.
So there were other manuscripts that people had. And of course, the Christian censor removed all of these types of Gemaras from all of these things from the Gemaras. But the Steinsaltz has the originals.
Right.
But listen, there's more. Amr Ula. V'tizbra Yesha Nosri Barafuches Chusu. So Ula says, what do you mean? Yeshua Nosri was not someone who was convicted of a crime where we could have reversed him to innocent, because Macy's who? He was somebody that was trying to get people to change their religion. He's one of those people that you're not supposed to switch the verdict. Very interesting. The Gemara says that Yeshu was close to the government. And therefore they wanted to be extra careful in his din. Now, that's not according to what we know about being Korov to the Malchus. Now, maybe the Malchus was concerned because he had followers, and maybe it would create unrest. Anyways, Ton Rabbanan, listen to what the Brisa here says. Chamisha Talmidim hayu lo liyeshu Notzri. Yeshu had 5 students. Matai, so that's
Matthew.
Matthew.
Okay.
Then Nikai, Netzer, Buni, Vitoda. Toda is like Thaddeus. Ted, right? Right?
Yeah.
So of course, Matthew is one of the authors of the Gospels.
Right.
Okay. So Asyu Mosai. So they were gonna kill all of these people. So they brought Masai to be killed. Ormalu Masai Areg. What? I should be killed. Aksiv Masai Avo ve'erip Elokim. Matai looks at the face of God. Armalo in. Matai Hareg Dichsiv Matai Yamut va'avad Shmo. It's a possible continue. No, that you will die and his name will be forgotten. Ashivul Nakoi. They brought Nakoi. Armalu Nakoi Hareg. He said, "Why should I be killed?" Aksiv Nakiv Tzadik Al Tarog. Armalo in. No, you're going to be killed. Nakai Hareg Dichsiv B'mistarim Yarog Naki. Pasuk that seems to imply that Nakai will be killed. Asyuvul and Netzer. Omar Netzer Yareg Aksiv Netzer Mishar Shav Yifra. Netzer should blossom. Armalo in Netzer Yahareg. No, he should be killed. Dichsiv Ve'ata Shlachta Mikivrecha Knetzer Nitav. Asyuvul Buni. They brought Buni. Omar Buni Yahareg. Haksiv B'ni B'chari Yisrael. Buni is the Bechor. Armalo in Buni Yahareg. Dichsiv Hinei Anochi Horeg Espincha B'chorech. Asvil Soida. They brought Thaddeus. Omar Toida Yareg. Haksiv Mizmor Letoda. Omar Lo in. Toda Yareg Dichsiv Zovech Toda Yichadeh. Okay, that's the end of this. Uncensored or censored. Omar of Yeshua ben Levi. Kol Azovech Es Yitzro. Umisvadilim. Whoever sort of after he sinned, and he does tshuva, and he confesses, he will merit olam hazeh and olam haba. Olam hazeh v'olam haba. Tosiv zovech toido yichabdeini. Whoever offered an oila schar oila biyado, he got the reward of an oila. If he offered a mincha schar mincha biyado. Avol misha daito shvola. Somebody that was humble. Just by having the proper midah, it was as if you offered all the korbanos. His tefillah will not go unanswered. Mishnah. Once they brought the accused with an Esra Amos of the execution place, Oimrim lo yisvadeh. We tell him, confess. Do vidui. Shekein derech kol hamumosim yisvadim. We have them do vidui. Why? Shkol hamizvadeh yesh lo chelek lamabo. Whoever does vidui, he has lo olam haba. With the execution, he gets kapara. And where do we learn this? From Shekein Matzinu Ba'achan. We learned this when we studied Sefer Yoshua. Remember, when they captured the city of Ai, they were told that nobody can take booty from the city of Ai. And if you remember, like, people died. And it was the first time anybody died in these battles, so they knew that somebody sinned. So, Amar lo Yoshua b'ni simna kavod l'Hashem le'Yisrael v'sein lo soda. He requested that whoever sinned should confess. So vayan achan es Yoshua vayomer amna anochi chatasi v'chazos v'chazos. I'm the one who sinned, and this and this. Uminayin shekiper lo viduah. How do you know his confession gave him atonement? Shenemar vayomer Yoshua ma achartanu yakarcha Hashem bayom hazeh. Bayom hazeh ta'achor. Today you're evil, but v'yata ochel l'olam haba. But you will survive l'olam haba. If the person that you take out to be killed does not know how to do vidu, you tell him emor tehemi sosi kapara kol avonasai. You have him say, "Let my death be an atonement for all my sins." Rav Yehuda Omer Maya Yodeshu Mizumam. Let's say he knows that he is innocent, and Eidim Zomimim came falsely. He knows that he's innocent. He's being killed. But he says, "Let my death be a kapor on all my sins, except for this, because I didn't sin here." So then, but then the halacha said we don't allow people to say that, because then everybody would say that in order to clear their name. So we don't teach people to say. If somebody says that on his own, then he says it. So Yoshua asked the people, "Sim no." He asked them, "Please, ein no eloloshin bakosha," because b'shasha Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yoshua chata Yisrael. Hashem said one of the Jews sinned. So Yoshua asked Hashem, "Who?" What am I going to think? What am I going to master somebody? I mean, Hakadosh Baruch Hu doesn't do that either. Leich hapel goralot. Do a lottery. Halach v'ipil goralos v'nafel goral al achon. So the goral fell on achon. Amar lo Yoshua b'goral tabo alai. So Achan said to Yoshua, "What? You're coming to a lottery?" And from that is proof. You're the big gedolim. Imani mapil alechem goral. If I did a lottery against your will, alechad mikemu noifel. I mean, it could fall on one of you. I mean, what's the proof of this? So So Yoshua asked Achan, "Listen, we're going to need this goyrel because that's how we're going to divide up the land. So don't speak lashon hara in the goyrel. Shatid eretz Yisrael titzchak begoyrel. Shenemar ach begoral yichalek es haaretz. So please, tain toda, confess. Ravina shchude shachta b'mili. He bribed him with words. Klum nevakesh mimcha eloida bilvad. All we want is just to confess. Tain li oda v'hipoter. And we'll get you off. So he confessed. And I benefited. I did the me'ilah. What is this kazos v'kazos? That means when it says, because they killed Achan. So what Yoshua meant that you're going to be free for Olam Haba. Your vidu will never chaper you. This is not the first time that Achal benefited from Me'ilah. Twice in the time of Moshe. That means when they battled Knani Melech Harad, because they made a neder, not to benefit. But he, I guess, benefited. And there were other times he did it, which were not publicized. Shnai b'mei Moshe v'ech b'mei Yoshua. Shnema kazos v'kazos asisi. Rav Yechon Rav Shimon Rab Shimon. Chamisha. 5 times he did it. Arba b'mei Moshe v'echad b'mei Yoshua. Shenemar, Anochi chatati v'chazos asisi, he constant 5 times. How come Achan hadn't been punished if he did it before? Rab Shimon, Lefi shlo onash ala nistaros. Klal Yisrael were not punished on hidden sins that people didn't know about until Achav Yisrael say Yarden, until they crossed the Jordan. Now this issue is a machlokes tanoim. It says in a famous pasuk in Parshas it's in Parshas Nitzavim. Hanistaros Lashem Lokeinu. The secrets are for God. And if you look in the Torah, there are dots. Lama nakud alanu ulvanenu. On the ayin of the ad and the lamed ulvanenu. Malamed shelo onash Hashem al nistaros. Hashem didn't punish Jews on things that they did hiddenly until they crossed into the Jordan. That's the Rabbi Yehuda. Which implies that it would never change. Just like they weren't punished for hidden stuff, they weren't punished for open stuff. Then they accepted among themselves arvus that they have to be responsible for each other. Okay, we'll continue this tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll also learn at 7 o'clock.
Okay,